right? So we're going to teach you from the scratch, like from installation part to the advanced levels. Like we'll cover the oops concepts, we will cover the database connectivity, we will cover the regular expressions. Yeah, there are a lot more concepts we can discuss. Like anyone can learn. If you are a fresher, you are looking for a job, or you are new to the coding, like you are from the computer science background, from your degree, or if you're not from the computer science background, anything is fine. There is no need of prior experience actually to learn Python. Anyone can learn, like even nowadays 8th or 9th class students are learning Python, so that is as part of their curriculum nowadays, because it is easy. We don't need to worry too much about the syntax and programming language concepts. It is like a human readable kind of a format. If you are like from any other programming language background, like if you know how C works, if you know how C++ works, that will help actually, but really doesn't require that. If you know some other programming language, basically you will start comparing with this with Python. um, we don't need actually, we don't need any prior programming experience actually. So that is one of the good thing to start learning Python. And one more thing, why Python is it is an open source. Like we don't need to pay anything to get the software. Everything with respect to the Python is easy. We can get the software from the python.org. We can um, all editors what we are going to write, the Python code, they are also free. Like you are free to use any kind of editor. We have a lot of editors in market nowadays. Visual Studio Code is one of them. We are going to use that Visual Studio Code. And like PyCharm is also one of the good editor to write the Python code. Sublime Text is there, that is also one of the good editors to write the Python code. And lot more. If you are comfortable with Notepad or Notepad plus plus, you can write your Python code over there. The only thing is we are going to save the program name with .py as an extension, then we are good to go. We can execute that Python program from anywhere from our systems. And one more thing here is, if you are using Windows, yeah, definitely we need to install Python. We will give you the steps, like we will tell you the step-by-step process how to install the Python software on your systems. And also if you are using Mac or Linux, the Python comes along with that. We don't need to worry about that much. The Python is coming along with a Mac operating system and Linux operating system, but we need to upgrade that because we are in the 3.10 version currently. The Python latest version is 3.10. Anyway, we are going to learn on the very latest version. So let me share you my screen. I can guide you, or I can tell you what are the things, or what are the components we are getting from which website. So hope you can see my screen, right? So I'm going to the official website of Python, that is python.org. If you go to your, I will paste you this in our chat box as well. That is the official website, www.python.org. If you are, once you go there, you can open that website from any of your browsers. So once you go there, once you find the downloads button over there, you will find the downloaded version for the respective operating system. If you are on Windows, or if you are on Mac, or if you are on Linux, you will find the similar downloadable Python software. Once you click on that, it will get the .exe, and it's as simple as that. If you once you double click on the .exe file, you can click next, 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 and so on. Anyway, we have the document like how to install the software, and along with that, we need to install one of the editor to write our code. In this case, we are going to use the Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is also open source. You can get it from the online for free. Visual Studio Code download. If you go to any link, it is also very simple installation. It will tell you like what operating system you are using, Windows or Linux or Mac. You can choose the respective operating system download, and that is it. Like once you get the .exe file or RPM or dev file, you can double click on that and keep on next until it finished. So these are the two mandatory steps we should finish before we start any programming language. Since we are learning Python, Python software is mandatory in our systems, and one of the editors is mandatory. The editors are, of course, your choice. If you are using, if you are familiar with any other editor like PyCharm or Sublime Text or Nano editor, there are a lot of editors are there. You are free to use actually. So now, why Python? Why we wanted to learn Python? Why not other programming languages? See, because my first answer is it is simple. Python is very much simple compared to the other programming languages. If you want to write any programming language, or sorry, if you wanted to write any program in other programming languages, in C or C++ or Java or .NET, let us take the simple example of Hello World program. We know the Hello World. Just I wanted to print some message on my console to say Hello World. So I hope you most of you know like how to print the hello world in C or C++. It would need at least 5 to 6 lines of code. First of all, we need to import the preprocessor files like hash include stdio.h, conio.h kind of things. But in case of Python, we don't need to do that. See, let me write a simple program for you to understand it. See, from here onwards, what I'm going to write, the all code I'm going to save some in a different folder. For that, let me create a folder first. I'm on desktop. I have a folder called Mouli, but let me do one more. So this is I'm going to give Python class. So this is on my desktop. For Windows users, you can create the similar kind of folder somewhere in your operating system. It can be anywhere on your desktop or your downloads or C or anywhere we can do that. I have created some folder name called Python class that is in my desktop. I'm closing that. Now I'm opening my Visual Studio Code to write some code. So I'm going to file and open the folder. So I'm going to download, sorry, desktop part, and I'm clicking on the Python class. And I'm opening the Python class folder, which I have recently created. Now I'm creating a new file in this. So if you click on this, this is to create a new file, and this is to create a new folder. You can easily, once you navigate your mouse point to there, it will tell you like what to create a new file and what to create a new folder. Since I'm looking for a new file here, I'm wanted to create a new file. So I'll give some name called hello world .py. See, .py is mandatory because Python programs are always identified by the extension. Like C, we will write the code like .c. If you are writing a C++ program, we are going to write that by using .cpp. Similarly, for Python program, it is .py. So .py is the extension to identify the Python program. See, once we create that hello world.py, it will create the empty file for you, and you can start writing the code here. Let me increase the font a bit. See, I'm going to write a simple Python program for you. Hello, welcome. So I'm printing something. Anyway, we will talk about all these things later, but I wanted to show you how Python is simple compared to the other programming languages. So if I say print hello world, that's it. We don't need to write anything. But if you let me give a simple understanding, like if you are going to write the similar program in C or C++, you have to write something like this: hash include std io.h. There are some pre-processive directors, like we need to write some function called void main, and you need to open the parentheses, and you need to write here like printf or scanf. And print is not that much simple here in crc++, right? We need to write some format specifies like percentages. See, we don't need all of them in Python. In order to print the hello world, you can just use a print function, and inside that you can directly mention the hello world or welcome, whatever the message you wanted to pass. See, that much simple in that is in Python. So I'm saving it. See, these all the comments I have, I mean, this is nothing but the comments in Python. I have made them comments. We'll talk about them, what are the comments, how they are affecting the program, and all the concepts. But at the moment, for those who don't know what is comments, so comment is nothing but to give you some information about the program. It won't do anything to the program, like the lines which are starting from the hash keyword or hash letter, they are not going to execute, right? So since those are not used in this particular program, I am removing that. That is my program, simple program and first program, and I'm going to execute that. See, you can execute in the editor itself, otherwise you can execute in the uh, terminal itself. For the moment, I'm going to run the particular program in the editor itself by opening the terminal in this editor. Like, so in order to do that, you need to come over to the left hand side down corner. You can click on that here. Like, I hope you are able to see that there is some cross button, there is some pyramid kind of thing. And here, if you see, there is a option called terminal here. So you can execute your program from here as well. See, I'm in somewhere Python class. That's in my current working directory. If you want me to show, like, where are we? So pw is a kind of a command to show you where we are exactly. So we are somewhere in the users Chandramouli. So I have created a folder under desktop, right? So I'm exactly over there. See, in order to execute your program, we should be in the correct directory. Otherwise, your Python interpreter will not identify that particular thing. See, in order to execute this, we need to invoke the compiler first, Python 3. See, we are using the Python 3 here, uh, and followed by my program name, hello world.py. That's it. If you This is the execution of the any programming in Python. So first of all, we need to invoke the interpreter, and followed by the program name .py. So this is my program name which I have created just now, and now at the end I'm able to get my output, right? See, this is as much as simple. We don't need to this is not a two-step process unlike crc++. First of all, we need to create a machine code, and then we need to execute that. We don't need to worry about too much about that. And one more important thing in Python is a dynamically programming language, which means we don't need to worry about what kind of data type it is. See, if you are writing the C or C++ program, we need to mention it in order to create an integer. Integer means, we know, like, if we wanted to store the numbers in the memory of the computer, we are going to deal with them either with integers or float or reals, right? So now, in case of C or C++, in order to take an integer variable, we have to do something like this: int c equal to 10, which means I'm going to take an integer variable, and inside that I'm storing a value called 10. So we need to tell the Python, C or C++ compiler, I'm taking an integer variable, so that that much of memory to store allocate sufficient memory to store the value called 10. But in case of Python, we don't need to worry about that. What kind of data you wanted to take, you can directly take like this: c equal to 10. This is absolutely fine with Python. This is called the dynamic typing. You can dynamically give the any kind of a data to any kind of a variable. Like, if I wanted to take some integer data, for example, I want to take some hello Python. So we know, sorry, this is a string data, right? So it is a sequence of characters. So if you want to take that, hey, give me. Give me a moment, guys. Sorry, guys. Just I got a call. Like someone is waiting in the lobby. I mean, to attend this meeting. I'm completely on the other screen. So, okay. I hope I have admitted them. I think Narendra. Hope you have raised the hand. Uh, I think you can unmute yourself. Hello, Narendra. Are you able to hear me?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, Narendra. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I just want to check like if I'm audible or not. Oh, anyways, I'll ask it later. No problem.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So Python is a dynamically typed programming language. We don't need to worry about the kind of a data type what we are going to use here. See, uh, since this is a string data in other programming languages, we should definitely mention this. This is a string data or a character data, something like that. Um, no, we don't need to give such kind of data type information in front of the variable names in case of Python. If you want to take a list, you can directly take like this 10 comma 20 comma some kind of some like this. This is called the dynamically typing programming language. So that is one of the good reasons to learn the Python. We don't need to worry too much about the syntax here. If something goes wrong in the syntax, it will clearly tell you something is missing. For example, let me comment this one. In my previous program, I may forgot to miss the uh, uh, end colon or end string ending here. See, we don't need to go until the execution of the program. The editor itself will tell you somewhere in your program is wrong. It is always denoting by the red line. So that means something is wrong in this particular line. So you need to be careful about that. So anyway, these are all the smart editors nowadays. The same feature is available with any kind of an editor now. It is there with Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, or PyCharm. There are a lot of editors. If I run this particular program, it will clearly tell me there is something wrong. I'm clearing off my screen just by using a command called clear. Anyway, we will learn all these things. I'm executing one more time. I think I have not saved this. See this, it is throwing me some error somewhere in the line. So there is some syntax error, unterminated string literal detected at the line number 1. So which is in the, so it is clearly telling the where is the error is occurring. So this is one of the good advantage again with the Python. It will clearly shows you like where the particular error is happening. We can go and easily rectify that, right? So it's clearly telling somewhere this is the line number, there is some error in your code. So I can go there and I can rectify that particular code. Even though there is some 10 lines of code, no issues. Let me copy paste the same string again and again for few times. And sorry. So I wanted, I'm going to miss something here. So it's clearly telling the line number 3 is some error is there. And if I run one more time, if you see there is in a line number 3 there is some error. So this is one of the good advantages of Python. Of course, the other programming languages also will tell you the name, I mean error exactly, but it is very, sometimes it is very tedious process to find. They won't give you the exact line numbers sometimes. So let me give you one more simple example why Python is easy. So I hope if you are from the computer science background, there is a simple program, an initial program of swapping the variables or swapping the integers, right? So what is swapping? Basically, if I have a number in variable called a, let us say a equal to 10 and b equal to 20, I wanted to swap them. Swap them means I want b value to be stored in a and a value to be stored in b. How generally we do in other programming languages, something like we will take a variable, third variable, then we will store a value to the c. Now we store b value to a, and some logic we need to perform over there. But in case of Python, since it is allowing the multiple variable at a time, I mean we can initialize the multiple variable values at a time. I can take something like this. See, this particular feature is not, I hope it's not available in any other programming languages. We can assign two variables at a time to the two different variables, two values to the two different variables in a single line. And it is not only with the two variables. I can take something like this as well. I can take any number of values to the, sorry, I am keep on switching from my screen to the meeting screen to admit the people. Anyway, see, this is the multi-variable assignment. We can assign the variables at a time to the multiple variables. Like, that is one of the good things in Python. Now, in order to swap the variables in Python programming language, I could simply do something like this. Let me do something. I'm removing that. I have a value in A and I have a value in B. Now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to swap them. Like, I want to print A value to be 20 and B value to be 10, right? So now let me give you some simple message. Print before swapping. Now I want to print A and I wanted to print B. See, these are the values of both A and B. Now, if you wanted to print it some more beautifully, the value of A is, I'm putting some comma, and then similarly, the value of B is, have to separate them. So these are the values I wanted to print before swapping. So now I wanted to do the swapping now by simply by doing A comma B equal to B comma A. So what does this mean here? Here, in any programming language, not only Python, in any programming language, the statements are always executing from right hand side to the left hand side. That means the right hand expression is getting evaluated. So if there is any equal to in between the particular expression, the left hand side will execute it later. So that means my program execution start from right hand side to the left hand side this way. So I am highlighting that movement from this way, right? So now what is the meaning of here? What is the meaning of this line number 6? I am assigning B value to the A and A value to the B here. As much as simple this swapping in Python programming language. Whereas in other programming language, to do the similar kind of an operation, at least we have to write 8 lines of code. We need to take a third variable like C, and we need to take simple, like if you wanted to, we have two glasses of water, let us say, and I wanted to interchange them, the first glass water into the second glass and second glass water into the third glass, right? See, that is really not possible until and unless you have an empty glass, right? Otherwise you cannot swap them. But in case of Python, you don't need the third variable. See, why do we don't need we can do that, but there is a concept in any programming language, that is something like space complexity and time complexity. Whenever you are writing a program, how efficiently you are writing the code, like how efficiently you are managing the memory, like how low your program is taking the memory, then only your program will execute very faster within with usage of the minimal resources. Python is very very good at that, handling the resources. Like I don't need to waste the memory on taking the third variable, right? So now, so this is nothing but my simple swapping, and if you want you can add some um, comments here. So that is nothing but the comment. As I told you earlier, the program will not consider whatever you are writing after the hash. That means it will treat it as a comment. It's a kind of an information of the program who wants to read later, right? Now I wanted to copy paste the similar lines again, and after swapping, the value of A is A and the value of B is B, right? Now I'm saving it, clearing the screen, and now I'm executing that. So my program name is the same. I have not taken a new program here. If you see that before swapping, the value of A is 10 and the value of B is 20, and after swapping, yeah, we change that by using this particular statement, by taking the multi variable assignment, right? Now the value of A is 20 and the value of B is 10. This is happening just because of Python simplicity. If you are writing any other programming language, it would take at least some lines of code. Let me show you in the normal um, swapping of two variables in at least C. Just I'm showing you how it is, how many number of lines actually. See, this is the number of lines generally we are going to write. But of course, I do agree there are a lot of print statements. But if you see this, it contains at least some 15 lines of code, right? We don't need to write all these really unnecessary stuff. We really don't need to remember these number of lines, or we don't need to really worry about the kind of ampersands and percentiles and all this stuff. So that much simple Python is. That is the reason even the high school grade students, like 8th class or 9th class students, are learning the Python nowadays. And one more important thing of learning Python is we can widely use it in any kind of different areas. For example, after learning Python, maybe you are interested to, you are interested in go to the networking side, and you wanted to automate some networking. You could use the Python concepts over there to automate the networking concepts. Like, see, I have also learned Python for that particular reason. I have some I've worked in a networking domain, so I need to automate some kind of devices like Cisco, HP, Arista, Aruba. These kind of devices I need to automate. Like, I need to connect them via programming language. I need to do some operations over there, and I need to get the log from the networking devices. I need to analyze the log. To do this kind of a stuff, I have learned Python, and really it worked for me. See, it's not only a networking domain. If you are interested in kind of a machine learning, or if you are interested in kind of a data science, analytical sciences, and all these things, if you know the basic core concepts of Python, you could easily apply them on Python. See, as of now, Python has around more than 113k third-party libraries. That means 113k means 113 000. Okay, there are different libraries, like wherever you wanted to learn, like whatever the technology or whatever domain you want to learn, there should be a definitely some third party libraries. See, the third party libraries are nothing but it will make your job is easy. Like for example, in the networking domain, if I wanted to connect to a particular simple networking device like Cisco device, I would need some library for that, right? So in that case, my library would be the netmico or paramico. So there are some modules are available readily, so those are also created by some third party persons, like we could use them directly without creating our own functionality again. So I can simply install that particular library and then I'm able to communicate with the networking device. So that is for the networking domain. So there are a lot more libraries like that. But if you are, or you wanted to learn the machine learning, there are some libraries like TensorFlow. So TensorFlow is a third party library to which was developed by Google. You could install that and then you could make use of the machine learning components or machine learning, uh, all the algorithms and all those stuff. You could start learning the machine learning from the concepts what we are teaching in the class. See, here we are to teach you the end-to-end Python, but not the other things like Django or Flask or a machine learning or a data science. These we are not going to teach in this particular classes in the next 50 to 60 hours of classes. No, we are going to deliver the whole content of Python. From there onwards, you could choose your own career paths. Like if you are interested in machine learning, on top of Python, you have to learn some more libraries, like how to use those libraries and these kind of concepts, and then you can move into that particular way. Or maybe after learning Python, you wanted to move to the web application development. You have to learn some kind of web frameworks like Django, Flask, or Fast API. These kind of things you could learn them, and then from there you can start your web application development journey, right? And if you wanted to move to the networking, on top of Python, you have to learn some third party libraries like Paramico, Netmico, and PyExpect, these kind of things. Then you could start your journey on the networking automation as well. There are a lot of plenty of areas which was currently used in industry with Python. See, if you know the core concepts of Python, that is very easy for you to learn the basics. I mean, it is very easy to learn for you to choose your career paths. And what if you know only Python? And that is also fine. Most of the industries, like most of the organization nowadays, are using the Python. See, let me tell you the brief history about that. Why, if you know only Python, how you can survive without having other skills on top of Python. Initially, around some 2020, there are two kind of versions of Python. One is Python 2.x and second one is Python 3.x. Like there are two major versions. See, Python 3.x was introduced in 2012 itself, but before that, there is only version called Python 3. Python 2.x. As I show you in our thing, if you see, this is the version we are using, Python 3.10.8. This is very latest version. Of course, we are going to learn on this version only. We are going to install this on our systems and we will write the programs on this particular interpreter only. And before 2020, there is one more edition which is 2.x. Whenever I say 2.x, there is 2.1, 2.2, 2. Until 2.7 it was released, and after 2020 the support for the 2.x was stopped. But until 2020, most of the organization have used 2.x only, and they have retained their code and they have developed their lot of applications in 2.x only. Now, since they have stopped the supporting for 2.x, most of the organizations are rewriting their code in the 3.x. That means in 3.7 or 3.8. whatever the latest versions. Now the most stable version for 3.x is 3.8 so far. um, right, so most of the organizations are rewriting their code. So whenever they are rewriting means they need to change some syntax changes, like the print is not same as in Python 3 and Python 2. There is a slight difference between them. And there is something like the generator object is not same as Python 2 and Python 3. There are some slight changes. So if you know the differences between these two, Python 2 and Python 3, and you could work on such kind of projects. I know there are a lot of organizations are they are porting their existing Python 2 code to the Python 3 code. So if you know this, at least you can do that as well. See, there is no much difference between Python 2 and Python 3, but there is some only slightly syntactical differences. Anyway, I'll tell you what is the exact thing. For example, this is the one which we are using print statement in Python 2, but whereas in Python, sorry, this is in Python 3, right? So whereas in Python 2 we have to write the print statement like this: print hello world, something like this. Is one of the major change has been done from Python 2 to Python 3. Of course, this will throw the error since we are using the Python 3 interpreter. Definitely, it will not identify what is this statement. But in if you are running on Python 2, this is the valid statement to print something on that, right? And like this, there are a lot of like in Python 2, there is a concept of X range, whereas in Python 3, sorry. Um, Whereas in Python 3 it has range. They have renamed some functions names as well, right? So this is in Python 2 and this is in Python 3, right? See, these are the things they have modified actually. So I'll tell you those things also while we are teaching the classes, while we are go through as we progress. What are the changes has been done from Python 2 to Python 3, so that they so that you will be comfortable whenever um, you come across such kind of things. And also most interviewers will ask us what are the changes has been done from Python 2 to Python 3 with respect to this particular concept, and you should be in the position to answer them, right? So I can tell you such things always. So this is one of the good reasons to learn Python, because it is open source. We don't need to buy anything, and it has the rich set of third party libraries. Like if you wanted to move to the any area, you can go and learn that, and you can apply your knowledge on that particular area. And it is easy compared to the other programming languages. The writing of Python code is easy compared to the other programming language. Just I have shown you the swap thing, right? So in C or C++ and or .NET or Java, if you choose any programming language, at least you have to write some 7 to 8 lines of code at the minimum. But in case of Python, you could simply finish that by um, 2 to 3 lines of thing. And also it is a dynamically programming language. We don't need to worry about uh, the data type. Like I could directly use the integers here, the strings like that. Whatever data type you want to take, you can take it as it is, right? So that is about why learn Python. And one more and very foremost important thing is why you want to learn Python with us. There are a lot of other third party, sorry, there are a lot of resources nowadays. You could learn by using Udemy, you could learn by using simple learn. There are a lot of third thing, right? So why with us? Because we will cover the most real-time examples, because we are in the real-time industry. We could help you at any point of time if you face any issue, or if you feel like something you got stuck somewhere. um, yeah, if you simply ping in our group, we could definitely help in that particular part. And we will discuss the more real-time scenarios. For example, if you are learning a list concept, most of the not from non just they are in the teaching, that's it. Just they know the concepts very well, and they understand the concept very well, but they might not give you the good application to apply that particular concept. For example, if you're learning a list, they will tell you, like, they take a simple list and they will tell you some operations on that, like slicing, and what are the different uh, functions we can apply on them, but they may not give you the good application to apply that particular concept. But in this case, we will teach you like how we can utilize, or how we can use that particular concept in real time as well, so that that will give you more added advantage, and that will give you the more learning space for you, right? So that is one of the reasons, why you, for your question, why you are going to learn with us. So these are the things, and after that, I hope you have gone through the content, like what are we are going to cover it. So here, right. So I hope you have gone through my introduction video as well, which is already available in our Ingenious, and you could also view that in our YouTube channel. These are all the things we are going to cover. See, these are just the outlines, the contents, introduction to Python, like what Python can do, why Python, syntax, installations, the first program, print statements. There are a lot more. See, I'm not going to dive very deep into this particular part as of now, because I have already covered in the uh, in our video. If you have time, I hope you have gone through that, or if you are missed that, yeah, please go through that, like what topics or what things we are going to cover in that. We are going to cover data types, comprehensions, functions, and advanced functions, some useful modules, and file handling, exception handling, regular expression, database access, and OOPS concepts. Python web framework. See, I wanted to specify some point here. See, this Python web frameworks just an introduction. We are not going to cover all the things, all the concepts of C. This is again a 40 to 50 hours of a course. Complete, if you wanted to learn Django completely, it is again a 40 to 50 hours of course. But we wanted to give you some glimpses of that, like how to create a simple Django application, how to add some two simple pages. Anyway, we will cover the most of the things, but it's not a complete course. How to access the APIs, MVT architecture, working on some kind of a sample project by using this Django framework. This is again an introduction. We will cover in some 2 to 3 hours of class. And coming to the miscellaneous, we have a lot of things to understand, like in the introduction perspective only. We'll give you some introduction to the data science. Of course, don't think this we are going to cover at the end, in the middle of the course only, whenever the necessity comes to explain something about the data science or machine learning or selenium. See, we are learning them by kind of an application only. Like, for example, if you are learning kind of dictionaries, it's a kind of a data type in Python. We will talk about the applications as well, like where we can use them, how we can use them, right? So introduction to Flask and Fast API, interview questions, and resume preparations. Anyway, these are the default things any trainer can give. um, that's it. I strongly recommend you to go over the my video session, which is already available in our Ingenious app, and also you can find that in YouTube. Anyway, if you join to that particular Python training group, you can find that link for free. So coming to the timings, I want to take your opinion. maybe you could mention that in our group who has joined already in that group. So I'm planning to uh, continue 8:30 to 9:30, or I have some requests to start the session at 7:30 a.m., 7:30 to 8:30. Either way is fine, but based on the majority, like it will go actually. So I wanted to take a confirmation from you. I request you to respond about the timings in the group, so that will helpful to start the sessions. See, anyway, today is a demo session, and tomorrow is also a demo session, and day after tomorrow is also a demo session. The first three sessions will be the kind of a demo sessions, and after that we are going to take the real sessions, right? So I'm
Yeah, maybe we can open the session for the questions so they
right.
can ask the questions. Um,
Yeah, guys. If you have any questions, yeah, feel free to ask me.
yes, Narendra, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mouli sir, for the introductory session. Actually, I was about to ask it since the beginning. Like, I'm from an administrative background, database administration, and aspire to be the database data engineer actually. So I thought of learning Python programming language, and I started it actually. But somewhere in between, I thought like, no, it is very difficult for me.
Okay.
And when I saw about this course, like this is going to be a live course, and thought like, okay, maybe this will be very helpful for me because I just started learning just few 1 or 2 hours, and I thought like, okay, it is going to be difficult for me alone
Right.
because the indentations and all or something was
Right.
going
Right.
in
Mm.
proper when I was trying to write 10 15 lines of code in that.
Right.
So I hope that I'll get some help from there because we'll be
Definitely.
having the live classes and all.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
yeah,
Like, what
because
kind of databases you are dealing with currently?
uh, mainly on MS SQL
Okay.
and a little bit on DB2.
Okay. Okay. See, to your point, Narendra, definitely we will cover all those concepts. See, since you are dealing with the database, I hope you need to interact with the database to get some data from the tables and to manipulate. And again, you need to push the data to the database. I hope that
Correct.
kind of operations you are going to do via programming. Yeah, definitely we are cover that, because Python comes along with a simple lightweight database called SQLite 3. We don't need to install any um, other database on top of Python, but it also supports of all other databases. Only thing is we need to get that particular library. As I told you, there are a lot of libraries, right? In case of Oracle, there is a module called cx underscore Oracle. We need to install that and we can start working with the Oracle database. And in case of MySQL or a lot of IBM DB2, there are a lot of but the operations are almost same for all the databases. um, as you know, there is some slight syntactical difference or in query writing and something like that. Otherwise, in coming to the Python programming, we could easily deal with the
It
uh,
is very easy actually.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Even
It's
I thought it is very easy and convenient because I was not able to learn C, C++ very nicely, very properly. Then
right.
I
No,
thought like, let me try this.
no,
Maybe
no.
I'll be able to.
We could easily go with the Python with respect to the Python. I mean, with respect to the database. Yeah.
And which IDE, sir, you will prefer us to start with? Because I tried with Jupyter Notebook, and
No, generally Jupyter Notebook. If you are in the data science area, I suggest you to go with the Jupyter Notebook. But yeah, coming to any other things other than the data science, it is better to go with Visual Studio Code or PyCharm. I could suggest PyCharm as well, because why I don't say most thing is it is a kind of a heavy. It will take some time. It will consume a lot of space in the computer. It is
yeah,
bit slow compared to the Visual Studio Code and Sublime Text. Yeah, your
okay.
computer is really good with have more than 8 GB of RAM and good processor. And, yeah, PyCharm is also one of the better options.
Okay, but classes sir will be having on Visual Studio Code or something else
Nothing.
because
No,
I
no, Narendra. There is no difference at all. If I
okay,
teach you in the Visual Studio Code or in the PyCharm, there is no difference at all. There is no single line of code is not going to differ from the editor to editor, and from
okay,
operating system to operating system also, it's not going to differ.
okay,
It's almost same, not almost 100% same. So
okay, sir. Thank you so much. And
yeah,
last one, like if it is possible, 7:30 as early as possible in the morning, it will be
right.
good.
That's why I have asked you if you are just. I want your timings to be casted on the group so that we will
Yeah,
decide on
because
that.
it is like by 9:30 we have to start for the
I
office and all now.
understand. I
So
understand.
that's why.
Right, right.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Narendra. Thanks for the questions. Any other questions, guys?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Please feel free to ask all the questions so that uh, as many as possible, because the demo classes are something which you want to take a clarification. What are all the things we are going to perform in the classes? So make sure you are asking the questions so that you'll be comfortable and going forward as well.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Maria Sirish.
Yeah, Shirish.
Yeah, so actually, I'm from non-IT background,
Okay.
almost having 6 years of experience.
Okay.
So I want to know how, once I complete this course, so how well it is to put in job opportunities.
See, whatever we are going to cover, we will cover from the scratch. So even though you are from non-IT background or you are doing the non-technical work at the moment, definitely it's going to help. Maybe I could give you some suggestions, like if you give me some more information about what kind of work you are currently do, like uh,
See, I'm into investment banking.
okay,
So I want to move to IT side.
okay,
Like. But I'm like little confused. So after completing the, like, not only here, outside also, if I do any course
mm,
to move internally or outside,
mm.
so how it help me? Will they consider me, or is there any risk after joining to, like, moving to IT?
Uh, I can say absolutely there is no risk, Shirish, because whatever we are going to deliver here, you can easily put it on your resume. You have been working from last 2 to 3 years on Python. There is absolutely no risk for that. And at the same time, to clear your doubt, uh, for example, you are working on something on in your current working, like maybe investment banking, you might have used something. Maybe I can help you to automate that kind of a process. I'll help you to write some scripts to complete your daily tasks. Maybe you are doing something manually in your job, right? Some jobs at least, you need to
Okay.
get some
Okay.
reports and you need to process them and you need to send them to the clients. That kind of work,
Okay.
if you automate that, right, so that will give you the confidence,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So if you
Mhm.
could tell me like what kind of work you are doing currently.
Actually, my work most of it will be on the Excel.
Right, it will be Excel, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, we could automate that, like, so from manual work to the automate,
Automation. Yeah.
right,
Okay.
automation. So this kind of work, initially I don't promise you will directly jump into the application development area. Definitely
Yeah.
not, because you should gain some experience from your own domain first,
Okay.
right? Then only you could learn step by step, and you could move slowly. I can't promise you, or I cannot false promise to you, because I know the
Yeah.
situation, like you are in a
Yeah. I
kind of
understand.
completely non-technical background and non-IT work kind of a. So here I
Okay.
can help you to automate the process, what you are currently doing, so that you
Okay.
will have some understanding of that. Then you can slowly move your thing. Um,
So,
Like
another one, another question is there any like certification or some document will be provided by you?
I can provide you the notes actually. Like what are the concepts we
No,
are covering?
I mean certification kind of thing that I can like when I'm applying internal job movement or some
No, seriously.
outside job.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but as of now, we are not actually, providing any certificates because we are as an individuals, we are actually conducting the sessions. So we are also working professionals. So the mostly we are not going to promise, but if possible, we are going to try to issue the certification so that that will add a value to your existing profile. But
Okay.
we will not promise because we don't want to issue any certificate with this name because, as I said, it's not a company and any organization
Oh, yeah.
as specifically mentioned. Okay, so
No,
this
it's
is we
I'm
don't
just
want to give any
asking.
false statements or fake statements.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
not possible from our end. Thank you.
No.
Hope
Why I
this.
asked this, why I raised this question is so like when I'm applying for new job that I can show I have this done this at a Python course. It will add value to my
Right.
this one no TV. Yeah, that's
So
it. If
Sirish,
but
I have a suggestion. See, instead of taking, even though we are not providing at the moment, but whatever the concept, the content we are going to cover, you could easily crack the lot of other certifications from Python. But you need to pay for
okay,
them on your own, and you need to attend that particular exam, and then you can get the certificate. Because Microsoft is one of the organization which is providing the certification for the Python. I can help you on that, like what is the website name, and what are the different questions they are asking. See, if
okay,
you cover at least 30 to 50% of this course, you could
okay,
definitely crack that certification. So that will give you more weightage to your resume, instead of
okay,
from engineers or kind of things.
okay,
Anyway, of course, at the moment we are not providing, but in future also, if you are providing, the Microsoft certification is far better than any other things, right? So
final goal is to like get a job. That's it, right?
right, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Uh, okay, thank you so much.
right. Thanks, Irish. um Ganesh, look, you are asking something. Ganesh Anantula.
Yeah, just I'm about to ask about the fee details.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, currently, we have we are just launching this course because as a Diwali and Dussehra offer. So we're launching this course at the rate of 3,000 rupees. Okay, for 2 months course. So
Oh,
sometimes it can be beyond the 2 months as well. As far as the curriculum is concerned. So if in case if you will not be able to cover within the 2 months, definitely it's going to be 10 days more or 20 days more. So the for entire course we are going to charge at 3,000.
okay, okay, thank
Hope we answer your question.
yes, yes,
Mm,
yes, thank you.
one more question.
Yeah, Shirish.
If I refer some students, is there any discount for some students?
Yes, yes. I mean, are you asking about your discount or students?
No, if it benefits me also, it's fine. Like I want to suggest my few students also. So if I if I refer them, is there any discount for me or also
Yeah,
for the student?
you will get a 10% discount definitely for each student. So that's up to
Okay,
you. Like how many students are you going to bring to these sessions? So based on that, for each student, you are going to get a 10% referral bonus. So that is something we already mentioned in the banner, and you
okay,
can go through that details as well. And please reach
okay,
out to us. Yeah, please reach out to us if in case if you have any queries on regarding that part. Okay,
okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Also, sir, when it comes to 60 to 80 days of classes, that is fine. But because it will be Monday to Friday, but we'll be getting the leaves and all on the festival days, right?
Yeah, that we can discuss internally who have enrolled for the course, and yeah, definitely that would be there. Yeah, leaves, and that will consider the
Yeah, because
holidays.
in next 10 days, the festival days are coming, right? So on
Right,
that day,
right.
please. Okay.
Any other questions, guys? And yeah, as we mentioned in the banner regarding the fee, it is refundable within a week. Like if you don't like the once you enroll, and if you don't like the course in the first 1 week, yeah, we are happy to refund the entire fee what you have paid without asking any questions.
Any other questions? Please feel free to ask. Uh, yeah, I think Pratyusha has raised questions. Yes, go ahead, Pratyusha.
Yeah, hi. Actually, I would like to know when will the timings be finalized, because you said that we need to pay the fees before the actual session starts.
Right. So I think you mentioned your preferences would be 8:30, right?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think we need to take a consideration of so everyone's timings as well. So probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow, probably we can fix the timings.
Okay. Sure. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Any other questions or concerns regarding this course? Please free to ask, because this is something is very important. You should know about the course which you are going to learn. Um, yes, Sankar, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for this. I wanted to ask, yeah, is the Python training focused on data science, or is it not focused? Are you going to do something as regards to DevOps automation with Python? Is it just focused on data science?
Um, Thanks for this question, sir. Like, yeah, we will be focusing on almost all areas. It's not only a kind of a AWS or a kind of a data science. Um, we will cover the generic concepts first of all. All generic concepts from scratch. I mean, from the scratch. Um, at the end, I mean, at the middle of the course, you can choose your own path. Like, see, you have mentioned the data science area. Once we complete the data types topic, then we can move on to the different areas like pandas, numpy, um, kind of a machine learning algorithms. We are going to give you the introduction about that, since it's not a completely a data science class, or it's not completely a cloud or AWS kind of a class with respect to the Python. It is a core and advanced Python, which means we will be covering the core concepts and advanced concept of Python only, not with the respective of the particular area. We are not deviating from the Python to the different areas, but it will help you to learn the concepts what you have mentioned in the just now, either the cloud or either the data science, but it will definitely help you. um
Okay,
and
because
yeah.
really, sorry to cut you. Really, what I'm looking for is, to learn something that will enable me to automate some of my tasks with Python scripts.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
in short, he was asking about the automation, right? You want to get it done
yes,
your
with
task.
Yes, with Python automation, like writing Python script.
Right. Yes, definitely, because the scripting is one thing which is going to help you. Definitely, as he mentioned, the NumPy pandas is something you can use for automating the things, the scripting, right? I think that
Okay.
that will definitely add a value to your existing tasks. I can understand, like for example, if you're working in AWS, so most of the time you have to write down some scripts. So I think
Correct.
that is something definitely can enable uh, you to write down in your own way after you learn this course.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Or else, we can wind up the session within a 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
Yeah, please do share with your friends or colleagues, whoever is interested in joining Python, and you can also share the YouTube link as well so that they can go through these recorded sessions. And still, we have a 3 days more. They can go through the all the demo sessions if they're really interested in joining this course. They can take a decision on top of these demo sessions. Okay, thank you so much. I think we are good. Probably we can wind up the session for today, and tomorrow we can meet at the same time.
Thank you. All
Thank
right,
you.
guys. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a nice day.